Another thing is the ACTA negotiation. ACTA is an acronym, stands for Anti-Counterfeit Trade Agreement. It's a trade agreement that's being negotiated between the EU and various other countries, most notably the United States. The problem with this agreement is it will result in legislation. It will result in first European directives that then have to be implemented in national legislation. But these trade negotiations, they're carried out completely behind closed doors with a lot of secrecy. So the only things that are really known about the ACTA negotiations are documents that have been leaked. And when we look at those documents, it's about giving customs the authority to search through your laptop, looking for files that are illegal or they don't like, going through your mobile phone, your MP3 player, etc. To me, I mean, it seems to contradict the principle of free movement and lots of other principles as well. But right now, the basic problem is that we don't actually know what is being proposed in these secret negotiations being carried out behind closed doors. So the first objective when it comes to the ACTA negotiations is to try and put pressure on the governments to open this up. I mean, there's no way to make laws in a democracy to have them negotiated behind closed doors and then simply presenting the various parliaments with a fait accompli. The third issue that's on the agenda for this autumn is the Stockholm programme. The Stockholm programme is about Freiheit, Sicherheit und Recht, as is the name of a directorate in the EU. It's about fighting crime, and it's also about improving legal systems and legal procedures in various countries. Now, the Stockholm programme does contain good things, such as if you're arrested in a different member state from the one where you live, you should have the right to a translator, you should have the right to be informed about the procedure, things like that. I mean, good things. But it also probably contains quite a lot of bad things. How do we know this? Well, again, it's leaked documents from secret negotiations going on behind closed doors. In preparation for the Stockholm programme, there was something called the Future Group in the European Union. And this Future Group was very much focused on making information available to police and military, to let that information flow freely between the countries. Now, this is not necessarily a good idea. I mean, obviously, nobody has a problem with the fact that if there is a suspect and he goes over a border, I mean, the police forces cooperate in individual cases, etc. But there's a vast difference between that on the one hand and to make all the raw data available across borders. You could very easily go in the wrong direction. And in addition to that, within the Future Group, there was also talk about sharing data between the police and the military intelligence services. This is another problem, I mean, because the minute you start using the military or military resources against your own population, then you're heading in a very, very bad direction. Anyway, these were proposals made by the Future Group, which was a preparation for the Stockholm programme. Now that we see the Stockholm programme, the only official document that's been published about the Stockholm programme is about some 20 pages, and it's very, very vague and very, very general. So it's very hard to know what's actually going to be in the Stockholm programme, and when we try to press the Swedish Minister of Justice in Sweden, she's very vague on it. But there are things like the passenger name record system that Jens mentioned. I was on a television debate together with the Swedish Minister of Justice, and asked her about this. Will the PNR proposal be part of the Stockholm programme? And her answer was, well, no, that's not a very important part of the Stockholm programme. So okay, we know it is part of the Stockholm programme, but that's about as far as we have come. Again, this is a problem with openness and transparency. We really need to put pressure on the governments to at least tell us what they're doing so that we can discuss it. So this is what I expect will be occupying much of my time in Brussels this autumn. But then I'm sure other things will come up as well. I'll end this by mentioning something about the Data Retention Directive, since that's what the demonstration is about today. It's left Brussels and is now in the member states. And in Sweden, the situation is quite encouraging in a way, because Sweden has not yet implemented the Data Retention Directive. There is a ready proposal for a Swedish law. We know that because, again, it's been leaked, not published. It's ready there, it's just awaiting the signature from the Swedish Minister of Justice. They were planning to put this proposal to the Swedish Parliament this spring. But then, as the elections for the European Union drew closer and the Pirate Party started showing up in the polls, they decided to postpone it until after the election. And the plan was to Swedish Parliament closed 1 or 2 weeks after the election. They were planning to put it to Parliament just before Parliament closed, after the EU election, but before the summer break. Then the Swedish Pirate Party got 7.1% in the EU elections, and I don't know if it's related, but I suspect it might be, because they didn't present it in those 2 weeks before Parliament closed. So now it will maybe or maybe not come up during this autumn in Sweden. But at least it appears to me that the fact that the Pirate Party was successful in the elections has made them think again before they dare introduce it. Because, of course, in Sweden we got national parliamentary elections 1 year from now. So they are sensitive to public opinion. And that's very encouraging, because I mean, that is the first step, that we at least are getting the politicians in power to think about these things, a little thing. So that's also the reason why I decided to come here to Germany, because to me, what happens in these German Bundestag elections is terribly important for all of Europe. Whether the German Pirate Party gets into the Bundestag or not, every percentage point, or every 1/10 of a percentage point that the Pirate Party will get, will still send a message to the politicians in charge. And I, as a European, certainly hope that that message will be strong enough to make them think again, because right now Europe is heading in the wrong direction. We must stop, think, and take a more positive route into the information society. My name is Christian Engström, and I'm a pirate.